Gentlemen, think about this. You're sitting sipping coffee, you're scrolling on your phone, and there it is. Federal troops deployed to yet another American city. Feels like a scene in a dystopian movie, but it's not. It's absolutely real life. No matter where you stand politically, here's a reality. When troops show up in the streets, it's not just because of politics. It's a symptom. It's a signal. It's proof that masculine leadership in the local homes, in the local community, has been absolutely absent. This episode isn't going to be about fear. It's about presence. It's about what it means for us as men to stand, to lead, to protect, without waiting for someone else to do it. If you want to hear about that, well, stick around and let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson. I want to welcome you to the Legacy Gentleman channel. On this channel every day, we talk about the values, skills, and works that be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. And when you have that, you serve. You're a legacy gentleman. But here's an uncomfortable truth. When communities break down, control rushes in from above. There are mandates, there's curfew, and there's troops. It's like a stress test for society. If fathers and mentors and men have been leading well, a lot of these problems won't even reach a boiling point. Proverbs 28:2 puts it straight. When a country's in rebellion, it has many rulers, but a ruler with discernment and knowledge maintains order. Look, no government program has ever turned a boy into a man. That's our calling, and we can't outsource masculine leadership, and we need to stop trying. Look back at the greatest generation. They fought in World War II, they came home, then they built highways and neighborhoods and schools. They weren't perfect, absolutely not. But they understood sacrifice and they understood building. Contrast that with now. Men dodge responsibility, they're ghosting fatherhood, they're hiding behind the scenes, and we went from Band of Brothers to the band who blogged about feelings. Look, I'm not knocking it. Talk about feelings, sure, but also take responsibility. Look, guys, do both. That's real masculinity. Think about Nehemiah. He saw his city in ruins. His families were vulnerable to enemies lurking, and he didn't wait for the king or post something about it on Instagram. He got up and rebuilt the wall. Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 14 says, "Do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord who is great and awesome, and fight for your families, for your sons and daughters, for your wives and your home." Look, that's the call. You might not be fighting a physical battle yet, but you are fighting for your family, for your mind, for your values, because you're absolutely under siege. Don't wait for the cavalry, be the cavalry. Here's what happens when men check out. Boys grow up without good role models. Women carry the burden that they were never meant to carry, and communities drift into chaos. Isaiah 3:12 warns, "My people, your gods lead you astray." This isn't about male superiority. It's about male responsibility. When men leave their posts, disorder fills the gap. And sooner or later, it's a Humvee at the intersection because nobody showed up at dinner. With masculine leadership, it doesn't start with speeches. It starts at home. Man, we gotta wake up and read the word before the world distracts us. We need to teach our sons to look at people in their eyes, tell them the truth, and shake their hand firmly. Stop numbing your pain with porn or substances like drugs or even scrolling. But start healing so that you can lead. You want to change your city? Hey, dude, start by how you talk to your wife. You want to change your community? Mentor a fatherless boy. You want to change the nation? Men show up. Let's talk about an example. In New York in the 1980s, crime was running through the roof. Communities were shattered and fathers were absolutely missing in action. and it was dangerous just to ride the subway. Kind of like today, right? But enter a group of regular guys called the Guardian Angels. They had no badges, they had no weapons. They just had red berets and courage and a simple mission: protect the innocent. And they weren't superheroes. They were waiters, they were mechanics, they were dads, they were students who said, enough's enough. They patrolled the subways, they walked neighborhoods, and stood guard when there was no one else to do it. They didn't wait for permission, they didn't wait for troops, they didn't post stinking hashtags. They just showed up and crime went down. Communities felt safer, and they proved what happens when men stand up. Chaos backs down. That's the type of masculine leadership that we're talking about. Not dominating, not posturing, but protecting, serving, and leading. Men, history is watching. Your kids are watching. Yeah, our Heavenly Father is watching. Isaiah 6:8 says, "Here I am, send me." That's the posture of men in uncertain times. Not send help, but send me. We don't outsource courage. We don't delegate our duty. We don't bow to chaos. We build in it. And look, guys, if this sets you on fire, don't just scroll. Share the message. Step up. Lead your home. Lead your neighborhood. And lead yourself. Because, brother, our nation doesn't just need troops. It needs men like you. And if this has moved you, share it. And until next time, go be legendary.